Thank you for tuning in to the best parenting show on the internet, Post Daily Dose.
It's the Post. It's the Post. It's the Post. The Post Daily Dose. It's the Post. It's the Post. It's the Post. The Post Daily Dose. It's the Post. It's the Post.
Hey, good evening, Facebook family. Welcome to another episode of Post Daily Dose with me, your trusted parenting advisor, faithful guide and servant on the healing journey. What's my name? Big Papa Bryan+Post. I am actually in Harlem, New York. I'm in Harlem, New York, New York City, New York, having a fantastic evening. See the little sign, Mindful Harlem. See the brownstones. You always hear about the brownstone apartments. It's because they're brown and they're made out of stone, and it's really cool. So just wanted to step out. It's been a busy day. Started at 2:30 this morning, and here it is 7:30 Eastern Standard Time, and I'm still going strong. I did the podcast, June and April podcast with April Dinwiddie this afternoon, which was fantastic. I'm not sure when it's going to be released, but she did it for the month of June, so it'll probably be released soon. I'll be sure to let you guys know. And it was about it was about adoption. It's about fathers and adoption, because this is obviously this is coming up Father's Day weekend. I think I don't always track these things so much, but I think this is coming up Father's Day weekend. Hey, Kirsten. Hey, Stefan. And so we talked about fathers and the role of fathers, and I had a fantastic father growing up, very strong man. So we talked about all of that, and then we talked also about multi-racial adoption. And that is actually something that I have never spent a lot of time like going into or talking about. And at one point in the podcast, I said to April, I'm like, I'm not a multicultural adoption expert. That's like not my thing. My thing is behaviors. And I think it's because I grew up, I didn't grow up in a multiracial family, in a multicultural family, even though the whole town I grew up in was mostly all white. I grew up with a black family, so it's just interesting that there's this whole perspective, which is a very important perspective that I don't get into a lot of, but I know I've got a lot of families that are multicultural adoptive families, and it is so important. And I look forward to sharing this podcast episode with you guys, because it touched on things that I hadn't even, things that I don't think about. You guys know that I'm always focused on behaviors. I'm always focused on how to help you guys connect better and build stronger relationships. So I don't get into the multicultural aspects unless you guys ask me direct questions. Then I'll give you some insights or some thoughts. But it's something that we don't talk a lot about in families who have adopted multiculturally. They don't talk a lot about, but it's so important. It's so important to embrace your child's heritage. And it's so important to really, now if you went through my parenting matrix, my 30-day parenting matrix program, I went into some of the generational trauma and the multi-generational trauma that we go through that we now carry forward. If you adopt transracially, it's very important, transculturally, transracially, it's very important that you're really aware of the generational challenges and the generational perspectives that your family has around certain races. So, because think about this, World War II, for instance, if you're primarily a European, a white Caucasian family, then you've got some generational imprints of some real hostilities towards Chinese Americans and Japanese Americans, or the Japanese and Chinese. If you're born in the U.S. and your parents are your grandparents or great-grandparents are from the South, then there are some imprints around slavery and black people. And we just don't talk about race enough. And I'm just self-admittedly, I don't talk about race a lot because I didn't experience a lot of race challenges growing up. And if I did, it just did not register on my radar. But if you are raising transracially adopted children, I want to really encourage you. Like, I think this summer I'm going to be doing 2 different heritage camps, and these are camps for primarily parents who've adopted transracially. And it's just an important conversation to have, and it's also really important to consider for your children, because at the end of the day, it's a part of who they are. And you want to embrace that. You want to embrace that with them. You don't want to be afraid of that. You want to embrace it with them. You want to open that dialogue up. You want to connect to people who are part of their heritage, who are part of their race, a part of their culture, and you want to make that important to your family. Don't allow that to be a threat. Make that important to your family, because when you make that important to your family, you're making it important to your child, and that at some level for your child is going to speak so much. It's going to create so much security for them, because it's like you accept all of them. Because I think, unfortunately, we have a tendency to, in some instances, not really fully honor and validate that different race that we may be raising in our family, and unwittingly or not, it can lead your child to not feel like they are good enough. And so I really want to encourage you guys. April Dinwoody's got a great podcast. It's June and April. Rhonda Rorda has written some fantastic books around transracial adoptions. That's ROORDA. So she's got some fantastic stuff with transracial adoption. And so just educate yourself. And if if you're in this situation, do some research, find those heritage camps. Those can be pretty empowering and uplifting. And, let's just keep talking about it. Let's keep the dialogue open, and let's keep talking about who we are as people, because at the end of the day, we're all the same underneath the color of our skin, but how we were raised, where we come from, it does matter. It is a part of our heritage. So that's it, guys. I'm about to go in here and have a very nice dinner here in Harlem, New York, which is very exciting. Very, very excited to be here. And I'm still doing really well on my food. I'm still eating really clean, which feels really good. I feel really good. I hope you guys feel really good. Big Papa loves you. Remember, in any given situation, we always have 2 choices. We can continue to react and just be fearful and be stressed from our past imprints and blueprints of stress and fear, or we can stop. We can take 3 to 10 deep breaths, and we can choose love. And I hope you guys will choose love. What do I have going on tomorrow? I might tune in with you guys early tomorrow. I'm going to be meeting with a family tomorrow evening for the first time, and then working with them all day Friday. So then Saturday, I'm going to be at the Adoption Constellation Support Group with Jeanette Yoff and April Dinwoody. That's going to be exciting. And Pat O'Brien. So if you happen to be in New York City, please, check that out on Jeanette's website. It's celiacenter.org. I believe that's the website. And if you can't find it, send us a message to the Post+Institute, and we'll get some information to you. So, all right, thank you, Stefan. Thank you, Bethany, for those comments. All right, Big Papa loves you. God bless you guys. Pray for you every single night, and I'll be talking to you soon.